Hi guys, Poober here, and we are moving on to episode 5. We're going to pick up exactly where we left off last time. Pretty much we ended at episode 4 with just having completed this very early game smelter setup and getting a decent setup for the miners. We've got a really interesting thing going on here where we've got some mixture of the ore coming in on the belts, but through the techniques of using the filter splitters, we're able to organize all of the resources so they come in organized onto the proper belts that they should be going onto. Since doing that though, we haven't yet played with any of our new products between the copper plate and the iron plate. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that today and start getting some logistics and automation going. So the first thing I actually want to do is fix what I have going on here with this leftover belt. This is the original belt line that brought the coal all the way down to the steam engines up north actually. And we're going to go ahead and delete this and basically just extend this coal line all the way to the steam engines. And we're going to have to do that pretty quick because we are slowly running out of the coal that's supplying all of our power. So I definitely don't want a brown out this early in the game, if at all. So I definitely want to get there and get it basically reconnected. And then after that, obviously I want to start getting some automation done, but the big priority for automation will actually probably be ammo more than anything. And then we can start working on automating other things that we use around the base, like belts and inserters, splitters, you know, all sorts of stuff that we're going to end up needing. Miners, assemblers, you name it. Oh, and good thing we made our way over here because look, this guy is already out of fuel. I actually don't know how much we are producing versus needing, so thankfully we've got full satisfaction, but probably not for long if we were to start automating and, you know, doing more work around the base if we weren't to fix that. So we'll go basically back up to the coal portion of the bus and we'll hook it in to the smelters, and then we'll hook it into the steam engines, and then we'll fix all this stuff over here. I still have about 200 belts on hand, and that was with me crafting it by hand from last episode. So I'm definitely looking very forward to not having to craft everything in my pocket for quite a while. Let's see, how much further do we need to go? A little bit more. And then what we could do actually is just change this up a little bit. We're gonna just delete all of this and basically start over. And that way it lines up a little bit more nicely. Okay, there we go. Only a couple minutes into the game and I already feel like we're getting a lot done today, which is really, really cool. So, where did my stuff go? Okay, there we go. And we join that with a pipe in the middle, and then even though we do have electricity at this point, I'm going to stick with the burner inserters because if ever we were to run out of coal, for instance, these could still just kind of power themselves. It wouldn't require electricity for these to work. It would just require fuel or some sort of fuel source, if not coal. And good, this is already catching up. Now we can just go ahead and add the steam engines back in. And then add the electrical poles back in. There we go. And then I'm trying to remember where or what side I had my poles on. I guess it doesn't matter. But we'll just follow the left hand. Oh, no, I changed my mind. The bus might be on the left hand side. So let's do the right hand side. There we go. And then we'll rejoin this up with the other stuff. There we go. And we'll call that good, just like that. All right, perfect. So we've already got that task out of the way. Now it's just a matter of making sure that our miners are back on, which they are, so that's good. We'll get more coal back into the main coal line, feeding the steam engines. And then it's just a matter of doing something with these lines here. So obviously this is from last episode. We got the very beginning versions of a smelter system for copper, iron, and then this one over here can be for iron, but eventually this will probably get converted to some sort of early game steel factory. But we need to make some sort of like mini bus at the very least out of these 2 lanes. So I know this can be expanded, but it can only be expanded so far, because even if we were to extend this further down, at some point the products here wouldn't be able to reach all the way down. So I'm actually not sure right off the top of my head how far down we can expand it. I think it's something to do with supporting like up to 24 furnaces, and this is only 12. So we can possibly double this going in a vertical fashion for all of these factories. But regardless, I think I want to just continue these lines, the product lines, just kind of upwards. And then we can start planning our mall type of products feeding off of these lines here. And I think instead of a typical bus, we're going to keep this fairly spaghetti-like. Just for fun. Okay, so that's working. We'll expand on the furnaces either off camera or a little bit later. That's definitely not the priority at the moment. What I definitely want to do is add more to coal production for sure. And I think it's interesting that it's only popping up on one side of the belt, but we could fix that by adding in, I think, a couple more lanes. So we'll do that just since I'm here, adding in the couple miners. But let's go back and now let's just think about what we should start building and where. So this is kind of the fun part. We'll be able to extend this obviously further down, but just so I have an idea of what doubling this looks like, let me take a quick blueprint, and I'm going to actually use the new feature. So Control C to copy, which is this. All right, this is the first time I am using this, so this is a little new to me. But wow, there we go, and then it disappeared. That is amazing. So it's just a temporary thing because I had no intention of keeping that. So that is awesome. I'm so glad they implemented that into the game. So here's an idea of what 24 furnaces between all of these looks like per column. So I'm guessing that is as long as I can make the factory, the furnace factory, before the resources would stop getting to either side of the lanes. So what that means is basically from here on down, we can start adding in assemblers and things like that. Maybe what I should have done is expand it or condense the lanes a little bit closer together, but I think this will be okay, even though it's spaced out pretty far apart. Like I said, this is not going to be a typical type of main bus scenario. But now we can just start playing. I do have to grab some more resources, so I'm just hovering over the belt line here. A is my button to pick up the resources. It might be different for you guys. And thankfully, it's kind of quiet on the biter front right now, but who knows how long that will last. So starting from this point upwards, we'll start making some factories. So basically, it's just a matter of where do I want to start. So I definitely need production of green circuits. That's a good one. So we can do, gosh, it's been so long. It's a 3 to 2, so I want to say that is the proper layout if you care about such things. And we can duplicate this a couple more times probably. And we'll see how spaghetti this ends up being. I'm definitely okay with it looking a little chaotic. In fact, sometimes that's preferable. Let's move this up by 1 actually. There we go. And this ends up being that one. That there. And then this ends up being the copper wire. There we go. And then, oh, I do need an output. So maybe the output can be in the middle, actually. So, let's see how I could get this to work. If only I had blue belts, I could just go underneath. But sadly, I don't. And then even if I bring this down by a tile, it'll be off. So off with the ratio. Now, I don't want to quite mess up with my ratios this early on. So what we can do is just have it be slightly off center, but not a big deal. Again, this is spaghetti, I keep forgetting. Okay, so that will be green circuits. And let's connect it up to the main area right there. Wonderful, and then we can, like I said, duplicate that a couple more times. Might help if we get some inserters supplying the copper into the copper cable machine though. And then I'm definitely going to want to automate inserters here very quickly because I'm sick of building these all in my pocket. There we go, our first green circuits of the map not built in my pocket. That is great. And then we can continue this line further down. That will be awesome. Okay, let's duplicate that again, I think. At least one more time. And then we can start using the green circuits to start making inserters and things like that that I'm really looking forward to having. Oh, and we're out of belt. That will be another thing we have to automate. And a couple more inserters should do it. All right, looking pretty good. We need to add another splitter right there to supply the iron. And there we go. Not too bad. And then let's add some lights so we can see. And then theoretically we could just keep adding, more of these if needed further up the line. But I think we'll stop there for now. I would rather start worrying about little things that we can automate. So then we can upgrade different things here and there as we need to. I think the first one we should do would be iron gear wheels, which makes sense to me because they go into so many recipes. But we're going to go ahead and grab these newly made green circuits. Uh-oh. I know what that sound is. Ooh, I should really put down one of the radar machines over there when I get a chance. We're probably going to be getting a couple more attacks now that the base is more up and running. And which reminds me, I should probably automate ammo before I forget. So ammo, the yellow ammo, or the regular firearm magazines just takes iron. So let's do that right here, practically right off of the main line. Just like that, and then add a couple inserters. And I think we'll cap it off at 5 stacks for now, just because I don't want to be too wasteful. There we go. All right, ammo, kind of automated, which is great. Of course, we don't have a way of getting it to the turrets at the moment. Oh, and I guess I do have a radar machine, and uh-oh, those are beginning to run low. I better take the ammo, what little of it I have, down there in just a minute. Hopefully we can let this build up a little bit first. Let's see what else we can automate before I have to make a trip down there. So we've got basic ammo covered. Turrets would be nice, but before then, I think we should do the iron gear wheels first, like I said that we were going to do. Iron gear wheels, let's do that on this side, I guess. I'm just thinking, because this will be extended down, this will be steel. So we can do a couple things of iron gear wheels, which I think we should have on a full belt lane. So instead of doing direct insertion, we'll just have it as directly supply the lane as possible. So I think at this point I want a couple long-handed inserters. And I know I said we were doing spaghetti, but this is looking pretty organized to me so far, which is not a bad thing. It's just not what I was intending, but that's okay. So they will spit out, actually let's have it right there. Spit out the gear wheels there. They will pick up the iron plate just like that. And then we need power, of course. There we go. It's already working. And then if we need to, we can add a couple more machines and then underground belt the rest of the iron gear wheels onto this line as well if we run out, which I'm sure we will. All right, iron gear wheels made. So next, it would be really nice if we can automate the belts, like I said, so I don't have to keep making those by hand. And then pretty much once we have belts and inserters automated, we can start thinking about using that for our red and green science. So let's see. Belts take iron plate and iron gear wheels. Thankfully, that's pretty much right next to here, so we can probably just do it right there. And we'll use one of those, and then we'll have it spit the product out right there. And then what am I missing? I need the recipe in there. I need some power, of course. More power over there. There we go. Phew, finally, automation of belts. We are making a ton of progress today. What else can we automate? We can do inserters next, I suppose. That just seems the natural order of things. We'll do... Maybe we can start doing something funky. Let's switch up the side. Oops, let me just eat those up. The side that the belts are on, actually, and that way we can output the inserter onto the other side of the belt lane there, and that way they can both share the same belt. This is looking so good. I feel like I am being super speedy for me. Oh, I'm missing the green circuits. Okay, thankfully they're fairly nearby. So what I can do, I forgot about those. We could actually do something like that. I need a splitter. All right, so here's where the spaghetti's happening, you guys. I promised spaghetti. Okay. There we go. Inserters. Oh, no, crap. Now I'm missing all the other stuff I needed. Shoot. That's okay. We'll put that there. Now I can fix that. And then I need to move this pole. What a shame. Add another pole back. There we go. Now we have inserters automated. Cool. That is working out really nicely. And then lights for you guys. How is our ammo production doing? It's basically eating up our entire iron plate line, and it only gave me 200 ammo, but before I forget, let's go ahead and... Why do I have no iron? But yeah, before we forget, let's go ahead and refill the ammo that goes in these turrets over here before I end up with another disaster. That would be horrible. And then let's put down a radar machine as well and repair this. Ooh, looks like they almost broke through. And we can repair these walls too. Alright, hopefully that lasts us a little while. Which I think it will. But it looks like I'm running into some problems with my farming here. So because the iron, or excuse me, because the copper ore is backed up, the iron isn't getting past the kind of choke point here. So what I could do, let's see, another way around that, unfortunately. And same problem here with the coal. For one, we can get rid of this, but this is just a temporary solution to that problem. I think we'll have to move some belts around, but I can do that in just a minute. Let's get back to that a little bit later. So that is a temporary solution to my problem, but basically, because I'm not using an equal or proportionate amount of copper, it's causing the copper to back up, and then therefore no iron ore is getting past the choke point, unfortunately. But can we pick up where we left off? Let's see, we had inserters here done, which is great. I'm going to pick up everything here, use it for my own devices here. We'll put that in there. We'll put inserters there for easy access as well. And then I could maybe start thinking about science. So maybe I'm thinking ahead of myself. I know green science, at least in 0.16, took the inserters and the belts, but I don't even have green science unlocked yet, or logistics science, so to speak. So maybe I should do that. We can put our labs back down. These need to go somewhere for sure. I feel like it makes sense to have them at the end of the line. But of course, I don't know where that end of the line is quite yet. So I'm just going to put it right here for now. Put half in both, and then we'll research the green stuff. So this takes, wow, 75. Okay, maybe not yet. Let's see if we can research or get ready the automation science packs first. So that just takes copper plate and iron gear wheels. Iron gear wheels are here. We just have to bring copper from here to there. So and I'm trying to think of ratios. So if we want to do 1 a second, we want 5 machines. So I guess we'll stick with that ratio. I tend to do that when I at least first start with this type of science. So, crap. My lack of bus system might have been a poor decision. Well, that's okay. We'll figure out a way. So let's branch the copper plate off here. Looks like a fantastic place to do that. We have to move that pole, unfortunately. Ugh. And there's just no good place to put that pole. And hopefully these belts are long enough, which they are. Good. Ooh, but they won't be long enough to get to the other side. All right, this is where some pure spaghetti is coming, I think. Ugh. Let's move some stuff around that we can. This is just making me cringe. Okay, so move that there, move that there, that there. Okay, now I have space for clearance of that guy. And then, wow. This is pretty ugly, but let's see if we can get this to work. We'll do an underground like that, give this guy more room. We still need to do an underground right there, though, it looks like. And then I'm trying to keep everything in line, so there we go. Voila, and that is how I get copper from there to there. And there probably was a much easier way of doing that. Maybe we could have started the splitter process over here, for example, but we didn't. So let's do the recipes, filling that in. We'll fill in the power poles. Let's fill in a light. And then we, of course, need an output line, and I'm already out of belts, so let's grab from here. And eventually we'll get some boxes and stuff like that set up too. So output line we can put right there. We'll need some long-handed inserters, like so. Regular inserters like that. Oh, and that needs to go away. Crap, what do I do about my power? Power pole needs to go, like, right there. There we go. And power that guy. Phew, problem solved. Alright, what are these guys missing? Oh, they're missing... Oh, they've got everything, I think. Yeah, they're all working. Oh, except for this guy here. I forgot about this guy. So, time to amplify the spaghetti even further. We'll do a splitter like this. Trust me, this is getting very messy here. And then, where's the iron gear wheels? Oh, I don't have any because the iron is lacking, of course, which is a problem I already forgot about, which we'll have to fix. Picks up the iron gear wheels from there. This guy now just needs an output line, which we can do again with another long-handed inserter. And there we go. And then this is set up. We can get that ready to go for green science here. We can play with the location of the belt for the output lines, I think, for next episode, but that leaves us a good spot for where to cancel with today's episode. I've got a couple of things I plan on fixing off camera, like fixing the iron plate problem. It's kind of trickling in right now, but I plan on increasing the production off camera so that we have that ready to go for the next episode. But in the meantime, I'm going to end it here, and I'll be catching you guys later.